Okay, if I can have your attention, please. We got a familiar face up here joining us, and that's Juan Pablo Montoya. This weekend he'll be driving the number 12 SKF Ford for Penske Racing. And Juan, great to see you. Been following your progress and your performance over at IndyCar, and certainly great to have you back at NASCAR this weekend, and I guess you'll be at the Brickyard racing as well. Just talk about how things are going, coming back over to NASCAR, and how you anticipate that's going to be for you.
I'll tell you the truth, I think it's exciting to be back, especially with Team Penske, with the SKF Ford. It's pretty cool. I mean, I only had, to be honest with you, I only had 1 day of testing in Nashville, about a little bit before Indy, or Indy 500. So it's been a while, but in Nashville, I went out and it took me probably 5 laps to really get comfortable in the car. It was really weird because one of the funny things is, you don't, in the other side, in IndyCar, the cars are always on pit road. So you don't, you don't drive through garage, and so that was kind of fun. Like, you get in the garage and you got to reverse out again and all that. That was a little bit of, brought back good memories of being here. And, to be honest with you, the way, Penske, Team Penske is running here, it's a hell of a chance. I mean, you see Joey's comment sometimes, it was a terrible day and he finished 5th or 6th. So, I mean, from my history here, I would have killed to have a car that would do that. You know what I mean? So, our goal, I think, here, it's, we'll take it as it comes this weekend. But it's the way we really look at it. I think this is a really good preparation for the Brickyard. Working with Greg Irwin, I think is a really experienced crew chief. He's won races. He knows what it takes to get it done. And if we do a good job here, understand what I want out of the car, then going to the Brickyard, we might be looking really, really strong. That'd be fun.
Good deal. We'll take some questions for Juan. If you have one, let's go with Jim Utter, and then we'll move along.
Jim Utter, Charlotte Observer. You kind of touched on this a little bit, but you spent your entire NASCAR career with Chip's organization.
Yeah.
Even though you're only doing 2 races, do you kind of look forward to getting a little different look on the NASCAR side from how some other people did it?
Oh, absolutely. It's a very different organization. We had, with Chip, we had good years, bad years, good races, but we had everything. I think, the way, as I told you, the way Team Penske is running right now, they look like every week they got a shot of winning. So if we do a good job here, if we have a decent race, we'll easily get a top 10, and if I'm really comfortable in the car, we could even look at a win. I think this track, my background right now with open wheel, coming here, I think is gonna play into my hands a little bit because it's a really fast track. It's a track that, you don't brake. It's a track that is controlling the throttle, and you do a lot in the IndyCar. So I think, I always ran well here and qualified really well here. Like last year, I think I was looking at this week at the, qualified 10th and 6th last year in the Ganassi car. So coming here, I think it's exciting. It's really exciting. That, Roger gave me the opportunity to come here and make SKF and the Ford Group, proud of what we can do.
Question right here, far left.
You had a pretty interesting travel week this week earlier. Followed it on Twitter with your airline stranding. Did you think you'd make it here at one point first off?
I made it here last night about 11:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did American Airlines handle everything well?
No. To be honest with you, we were gonna do a drive from Chicago to Iowa, and we were renting. We were getting a car. As we were renting the car to drive, they said, the team plane is going to Joliet to drop tomorrow morning to leave some crews for Chicago, and then there's going to take Will to Iowa. Then stay, so I stayed by Joliet, and they took me in the morning. I got there and it was raining, and it's hectic, I would say. It's like I was. And the challenge is crazy because, yesterday, I was telling somebody yesterday I was going around Milwaukee, and I tested a lot of Milwaukee back, in the Cup side, and it's 10 seconds a lap different there. So, my visual cues change a lot. So I think that's gonna be the harder thing. Is the more I drive the Indy cars, the visual, getting used to where, because most of the feeling between the cars is all the visual. You know what I mean? It's how fast, how fast it tells you you're okay here, and those two edges are the big difference.
What kind of opportunity is this for you? You touched on this earlier, to get a few laps back in the stock car, and how will that translate back to open wheel?
For me, more is the opportunity to maybe win, a race or two here. You know what I mean? This year, we got two really good shots. This is probably one of the best tracks, for the Fords. They always they're always a car that can win, and the way the Team Penske is running right now, if you do a good job, I mean, if it clicks from the beginning, and we hope it does, we might have a shot at winning this, and definitely going to the Brickyard. It's a place that I run really well. You know what I mean? It's like when we run bad, we're always in the top 10. So going there in a car like this, it's you're definitely looking at a shot of maybe a win as well.
Let's go right here to Mike, and then to Nate.
Mike from the Free Press. A couple of drivers were a little bit sensitive about your technique at Belle Isle a couple of weeks back, perhaps suggesting you were blocking.
I blocked once, yeah. I got away with it. I was lucky that I got away with it. I looked at the video afterwards, and I told him I was surprised you didn't penalize me for that. And said, yeah, the problem is the video was down, so they couldn't.
Yeah. Do you think your friends here this weekend will be a little bit more understanding?
It's racing. You know what I mean? I'm here to race, and that's it. You know what I mean? I've done this long enough. If you think about it, if any series I've done, the longest series I've been in my career is NASCAR. I was in Formula 1 for 6 years. I was here for 7. And IndyCar, I've only been there for 2.5. So, but no, I know the game here. So, and it's fun knowing that you're not doing the whole season.
Oh. Nate Ryan right here in the middle, and then to Kenny Bruce. And then we'll finish with Youngstown.
Nate Ryan, USA Today Sports. Juan, guys talk about how in this series the car can change like every week and the way you have to drive it to keep up with the setups. And they've talked a lot this year about all the new minimum ride height rule abolition, how that's changed the handling. Is it going to be that much different for you to just step back in after, pretty much almost like a half season out of the car? Have you gotten acclimated in testing? Is it going to be a little bit of a transition?
I think it'd be easier to drive. You know what I mean? I think the extra downforce and the extra grip on the cars, it's something that is new for everybody here when they're used to. But for me, I'm going the other way. I'm going to less downforce, less grip. So the more they put on the car, the easier it's going to be to drive for me, I would think. It's funny, like in Nashville, I drove it and it's like, be honest with you, the first 3 laps I missed the corner by a mile. Like I braked, like I knew, like from history, I always know where to brake. And I can tell you pretty much every track where you got to lift. So I went there and I braked, and as I started turning in, it felt really slow, so I got out of the brakes and missed the corner completely. So, yeah.
So you feel like someday you're up to speed as soon as the race starts?
Honestly, like I was within 10th and a half of the best time they ran in Nashville in 8 laps. That I was kind of surprised. So it was good.
We'll go to Kenny Bruce right here with the in the middle, and then we'll go to Mike.
Kenny Bruce with NASCAR.com. Juan, I'm sure you're aware of the new qualifying format. I was just wondering about your thoughts about that.
I think for me, especially here, I think it's a great thing because the tires are really consistent. So if I screw up, I get another shot. I haven't seen, they tell me the draw is a big thing. Where you draw in the pit lane makes a big difference. So we'll see where we draw. And, I mean, to be honest with you, we just got to put the car in the, first run is put her in the top 24, and then we can really go at it and see what it brings. But it's exciting. I mean, I think the way it was before, it was if your car was good, it was really good. If you missed it, you were screwed. Here, just give you a little bit of extra chance to get it done.
Final question right here, Mike.
Juan, with your racing background, you've been on some of the best road courses in other countries. Do you think NASCAR could spread out to one of them with a cup race, and how popular would it be?
I think it's more what NASCAR wants to do. You know what I mean? I think NASCAR has always been very protective of what they are and where they are and their fans, and I'm not sure they ever even want to explore other countries. You know what I mean? I think you gotta ask them, not me. You know what I mean? Would it be popular? It depends where you take it. I think if you take it to Europe, people, just because it's NASCAR, they wouldn't. The same thing Formula One comes here, and people just don't watch it. I think if you went to Asia or something like that, it could be a big hit. You know what I mean? Like, China, Japan, it could work. But do they really want to do it? Are you really want to add more races?
Juan, before I let you go, I've really missed having this opportunity to
Great.
ask you
Thank
this.
you. Welcome back, yeah.
Your Hispanic fan base, and actually all of those Hispanic journalists that we have covering our sport, if you wouldn't mind just telling them out there just about your coming back over to NASCAR this week and the Brickyard, and anything else you might want to say to those
Anything?
folks. Well, beyond reason, within reason. Go ahead.
Bueno, la verdad estoy muy contento de estar acá en el SKF Ford. La verdad es una oportunidad que me dio el equipo de Penske muy grande y necesitamos aprovecharla. Es muy emocionante estar en esta. Voy a correr acá en Michigan y en Indianapolis. Es una oportunidad muy grande porque son carros muy competitivos. Entonces, ojalá me pueda adaptar rápido al carro y ojalá poder darle buenos resultados al equipo y a los patrocinadores.
Thank you, Juan Pablo Montoya. It's good to have you back.
All right.
Good luck
Thank
this
you, guys.
weekend.